Hello everyone, welcome back to the third and final video we're going to do on this lesson on feudalism and manor life. So just like always, I'm going to go through the more important facts that we learned in this lesson and just get you prepared to take care of the review activity and also give you a better idea of what you should know for the test. So life in the Middle Ages was this one big web of duties and obligations. There was no central government or central authority controlling things, so different people had to take on different duties in order to protect themselves, in order to provide themselves with food, shelter, clothing, all the normal life's necessities. So the Frankish kings were not able to maintain control. They weren't able to fight off these raids. You're getting attacked by the Vikings, the Magyars, the Muslims, and they just didn't have the power, the manpower, in order to stop this. So to defend their lands, nobles started hiring knights. Oh, too fast there. Knights were hired by the nobles in order to defend their land, but knights needed to be paid, and not everyone had money, not everyone had gold, so they were paid in land or fiefs. Nobles gave fiefs to knights for their services, and the nobles at that point would be known as a lord because they were the lord of the land, a landlord. A knight who promised to support a lord in exchange for land was known as a vassal. And this relationship between lords and vassals is the heart of feudalism. It's what makes up that relationship known as feudalism. So lords sent in their vassals to defend land, and lords also would build castles to defend their land. But it wasn't until the later Middle Ages that we see these large stone castles. These were mostly built out of wood, not stone. Vassals also had to give their lords money on special occasions. A knight was also able to accept fiefs from other nobles too. Feudalism was introduced by the Franks. It was brought to Italy, Spain, and Germany. William the Conqueror was the one who conquered the English king and introduced feudalism to England and titled himself the King of England. For the manor system, knights would allow peasants to farm on their land, to farm on their manors. And in return, the peasants had to give the knights food and other forms of payment. Most medieval lords would keep about a third to a fourth of their land to themselves, and they would divide up the rest amongst the peasants and the serfs. Peasants and serfs would receive their lords' protection against outlaws and raiders in exchange for that. The lords of a manor controlled everything that happened on their lands, and their word was law. So the manor was essentially the king over, the lord was essentially the king of the manor over a small part of land in comparison to what a king would have, for example. He would also collect taxes from the people who lived on the manor, and these taxes were what went back to the king. We talked a little bit about women, how they had fewer rights during this time than most men did, but noble women often had great political power in certain cases. So in the beginning, people lived on manors or in small farms, but the situation changed as towns became big cities, thanks to things like population increase, new technologies, horses, and even the increase in trade. So trade routes were spreading all across Europe. Many people were leaving the farmlands and moving to the cities. Now people are preferring money over just getting different goods. They're trading, they're making gold, they're becoming wealthy merchants. And this slowly made the manor system weak, and eventually you didn't have so much peasants and serfs anymore. You had a larger system, as in traders, merchants, knights, farmers. So that is pretty much everything that we did in this section. I tried to go through it pretty quickly for you. I realize this might not be what's best, but in the essence of time, it works out a little bit better for you. Any questions or anything like that, shoot me an email or contact me in Google Classroom. Good luck on the review activity, and don't forget to double and triple check your exit tickets and do now questions. Hope everything is going well with you and your family. Miss you guys a lot. Take care.